Hello guys, this is Andrei, and in today's video I'm going to show you how to replace the shields, left and right side shields for the brake shoes and for the brake discs. They will be replaced on a Mercedes Benz S203, which is the C-Class from 2001 to 2007. It should be the same for the coupe version, which was built until 2008, I think, or close to 2010. The parts that you'll need are the shields themselves. So this is one of the shields. As you can see, it's brand new. It's not Mercedes original. It's either a Van & Wetzel. This is the part number on it. The second, the other one is, this is the Van Wetzel. That's the AIC, because they didn't have a Van & Wetzel in stock anymore. So this is the part, okay. It was built last year in 2024, 24th of May. These are the shields, brand new shields. Now what you'll need is either to hack them, which means cutting them from here, and basically cracking them up to go around the wheel hub assembly. What I'm gonna do is a bit more difficult because I like to do things the proper way. That means buying brand new wheel bearings. So a wheel bearing, this is the wheel bearing made in Slovakia. You have to buy two of them, so they are the same left hand and right hand, doesn't have any anything to do with the handed part. In the wheel bearing box you'll get the wheel bearing itself. You can work with SKF as well, because I had good experience with those ones as well in around 2018, I think, or 2019, something like that. You will get within the wheel bearing set nut for the drive shaft safety circlip. What I bought is the actuators, or whatever you want to call them. This is the part number for the adjustment repair kit made by ATE. And I also bought a pair of pins. These are original Mercedes Benz pins. They have the following part number. The parking brake shoes themselves, TRW, so this is how they look. They come with hardware, springs and bolts and whatever. Part number for the brake kit is this one. What you have to do is jack up the car quite high off the ground, and you'll need, honestly, I don't know how big this is. It doesn't have anything stamped on it. It was made by a friend of mine. It's a 1-inch. This is the 1-inch driver for it, and you'll most definitely need an extension. After I take the wheel off, because I can't remove the center caps, I'm gonna ask somebody, press on the brakes and try to undo the nut. After the wheel has been taken off, this one is the nut which needs to be removed. The deal is, this is how it's supposed to look like, or insist a bit more. Now, couldn't manage to do stuff with the drift punch. I managed to do with a impact screwdriver, because you can beat on it, a hammer, and start working from a 1/2 to 3/4 adapter. Now, hope my trusty DeWalt will do something about this. Also, it is removed. The DeWalt gave it hell, and it's finally loose. Remove the caliper. You need a 16mm socket, not the deep one. The middle ratchet. So not the big one, the 1/2 inch, not the small one, the 1/4 inch, the middle one. And you have these two bolts. They need to be loosened up. And, once they are loosened up, the caliper comes right off. The brake caliper is removed, and I hanged it up here. We need a T30 Torx screw to undo the brake disc bolt. This is the bit. T30 Torx bit worn, but it does the job with a small ratchet. Now this is what we're left with. I don't have the parking shoes on because of the corroded shield, and it couldn't hold the springs anymore. Whatever, I had them taken apart a few days ago. Anyways, the thing is, in order to remove this, you need a press. The press is made out of a sliding hammer and a flange that sits tight against this surface. You should start hammering it until it comes out. It's gonna come out with part of the wheel bearing itself. I'm gonna have to secure really well this brake caliper. I'm gonna fix it to the spring itself. Remove then this one and this one, most likely this one, probably, I'll see, to take the flange towards me and be able to remove the drive shaft. Now let's start hammering. Okay, so this is the sliding hammer which I have. It's built by well, the idea is mine. This is an old hammer from when my wife's grandfather used to work in the factory where they used to build diesel engines for locomotives and stuff like that, for trains. Long black studs compensate for this amount of unthreaded wheel bolts. add some spacers. Some bigger nuts work as well. They need to be this big. This one needs one more spacer. So do the same for at least 3 of them to have them tight enough and start hammering. I'm left only with 2 that I can use because I have to drill and make bigger holes. Anyways, doesn't really matter. So this is how the setup looks like. You see, that's it. Nothing else special. I'll try to tighten those bolts. Okay, have them sit at an horizontal plane and start hammering like this. Okay, so I have the first bearing out. This is what you're left with. Looks pretty okay-ish. The race of the bearing, so you can see, stayed on the wheel hub. I'll have to crack that off with a chisel or something. Now we need to take off the circlip, undo the top bolts as I said, and after that take the wheel hub and press it forward so that you can remove the drive shaft. What's important is to try it first with this kind of bearing puller so that you press in the drive shaft so it has a little play, because right now it's really stuck in there. I could barely pull out the bearing itself. Also vacuum the floor so you don't dirty yourself too much. After which we should start doing some cleaning, removing some rust from here, and yeah, give it a spray paint. Should be good to go. So you need a 13mm, and over here on top you need an Torx 11 socket. Now the thing is, I managed to remove the safety. You have to tap it with a punch pin or stuff like that, whatever it's called. I also used a circle plier because a safety circle pliers, because you can't do it without. I also broke one in trying, so first make sure that it's moving and disengaging from this inside channel, because it's most likely rusted over there in that inside channel. My recommendation is, after you replace it, put some ceramic grease for injectors to make life easier for the next person who does this, if somebody will do it ever again. Now, like I said, I have to remove these 2 bolts. They are really easy right now to access. What can I say? Put a big wrench on them and undo them. Okay, so on this side you will use an 18mm. Well, you're gonna use this side, but this is easier to use for cleaning the nut. And on this side you're gonna use a Torx 55 counter the bolt from unscrewing. Also, it's best if you use this kind of leverage tool. You can also adapt a bigger torque bar to it, whatever you want. So just slip. I wanted to show you how to remove the bearing itself. Quite easy to do, not very difficult. You need the press like this. This big cup goes over here, and there's this small disc over here which goes inside and presses against the bearing. Now this part of the long screw faces from this direction, from the outside of the car towards the inside, and this nut over here comes from the back. Press against this disc. You need a socket, 30mm normal socket, and one of these 2 will do, either an open wrench or a 12-pointed ring wrench, combined wrench, whatever. You get the point. And then you start unscrewing it, and gonna come out really easily. The only thing which you might want to do in between is press against the drive shaft so it moves freely inside the disc, doesn't obstruct you in any way. So I know I told you that. I'll show you on this side how you install this press to pull out the remaining bearing. Let me show you. This is how it looks like. This is on the other side. So just now to put the 30mm wrench over here and the 30mm wrench over here and start undoing stuff. The bearing is removed. Okay, so I've bought this bearing puller set. I already removed the other half of the bearing of this flange. Now it's time to remove the second one, so get the big one or the small one, doesn't really matter, but I would